So today we have a 2000 Ford Ranger. It's an XLT. We're going to go ahead and replace the dome light, the map light, and then the instrument panel lights. I just got all my bulbs in today, so we're going to go ahead and try to take this on. The map light and the dome light are pretty easy, so those will be really quick. The instrument panel, we're going to take quite a few things off in order to get in there and then get that off. But let me show you what I got. I bought these lights. They're made by Last Fit. These ones had probably the better reviews out of all of them. They were rated like 88% out of people like these. All the other lights that I saw, they were probably under 80%, maybe 75, 74%. So I just decided to go with these. They have a 1-year warranty on them. Let me show you what I got. So these ones here are going to go in the instrument panel. I believe there's only 6 of them. And then I don't know if these ones will also fit under the climate control. We're going to check that out when we get in there. And then this one of these goes in the dome light. And then these ones go in the map lights. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you in. And let's go ahead and get started. So what I noticed on these, you can actually, there's 2 little tabs right here on these. If you kind of push back a little bit, if you kind of just push back that way, a little bit here and here, the lens comes out. And then you don't want to pull down on it. You want to push it towards the front of the vehicle because it has clips on there. Little plastic here and here. And you can see that. You can see where they go in there and there. So get that out. And then we're just going to pull these bulbs out. Make sure you grab them with something because they're probably hot. So I'm just going to grab paper towel and grab and pull that out. Ooh, it's hot. There's one of them. There's the other one. And then the middle one, I'm just going to try to pop it out. There it goes. Let's pull that out. And then the new bulb actually has the LEDs on one side. It has a heat sink on the other. So make sure that that's facing downwards so that you can see the actual LED. Ooh, that's bright. That's one. And then I don't know if you can touch these. I mean, yeah, these ones you could just grab them from the sides. And then they should just go right in. It's hard to see with that LED there. So I ordered these LEDs and they turned out that they were red. Oh man. So I just ordered some new ones and got the white ones. I didn't pay attention. So I'm just gonna put these in for now. Those are supposed to be the map lights. So they basically just kind of go in like that. I guess they turn on at the same time as the door. Guess you can't really see it in there with the... On video you can't really notice this, I guess. Let's turn off these lights real quick. So if you want red lights, these are great. So if you want them red, not like you're having a party inside your truck, those will work. And the map light, they both come on. So for now I'm going to leave them like that. until I get the white ones. I want them all white. I don't want map lights that are red. Can't see very well as it is. So then, and the cover would just go on reverse. Oops, it's got a hole cut out here. It goes up here where the switch is. And it just snaps right back into place. Good to go. You can see it in here or not. Hard to tell on camera. There you go. Now you can see them. I think I ordered the wrong ones. Let's just say that. I didn't notice that it said red on there. We're going to have to pull the radio face out. We're going to take these two bolts off. Take this knee bolster out of here. Take this off. There's like 4 7mm bolts on the bottom. One there. One on the other side. And then 2 right where the hood release is. And then there's going to be some bolts under here where there's a metal plate. So let me set you down and let me get started with that. So these are 7mm. So you can either get a ratchet and then take these off. And you're going to take those off. I like to use my drill. It's a little bit faster. You know, we can check these. Let's see. And these are all the same size. Let me see. They're the same size. The tips look a little bit different for the control panel compared to the ones here, but the size is the same. Let's put this back here so I can disconnect any of that. Let's see if the same bulb will fit in there. This is one of the LEDs. Huh? Seems to fit in there. I don't remember if these have polarity or not, which means that you can put them in. Either you can put them in one way or you can't. Try to get this back on there. See if they just go in one way. Yeah. So it looks like these only go in one way. The actual sockets. They're really hard to get in there. Wow, that's a lot brighter. That left side looks a hell of a lot brighter than that right side. Nice. Okay, so let's take off the other one. Put that down there. Yeah, I didn't want to disconnect this whole control panel, so I'm kind of working around the stereo area. Let me grab the other bulb. And it's the same thing. Just going to pull that out. Get the other one and put it in there. And it's the same thing. You basically just put it in here like that. And then we'll test it to make sure that it lights up. If it doesn't, then we have to switch the bulb the other way. Now it's a little bit harder for me to do this because I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera as I'm trying to put this back in here. Don't try to over tighten it. Yep. Wow, it's a big difference. It's a lot brighter. Love it. So I'll go and put this piece back on there, put those bolts back on there. But we're going to leave the radio off because we still need to get in here. So, I'll put those screws in there first. Put that back on there. Just put these 4 bolts back on there. That's good to go. Now, make sure that if your cigarette lighter doesn't get unplugged on you right here, at least you check it out before you put everything back together. So I'm going to take off the 4 bolts on the bottom, and then we'll move up to the top, up there where the instrument panel is, in a second. Just to show you where they're at. So there's one right here. There's one right there. And then there's two underneath here. Okay? So you're gonna have to open the hood. And then there's 2 right there. I know it's hard to see. 2 right here. One there. And then one over here. I don't know if you can see those or not. So these 4 bolts under here, they're like a brass color. And then next we want to do is you want to kind of pull towards me this way. pull on both sides here and on the, and also over here. Pull those because you want to make sure you're pulling right here where these clips are so they don't break on you. So let's move that aside. And then now we got to remove this plate. Now you will need either a ratchet or you're going to need a pretty strong impact gun because these ones here are fairly tight. I want to say an 8mm. Yeah, 8mm. There we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's one up here, 5. Hold the panel up with your arm, doesn't fall down, and then slowly. Now this is very, very sharp, so get it out of the way. A lot of sharp edges on that thing. And then let's switch back to our 7mm. Now we have 2 more bolts under here. One of them's right there. And the other one is right over here. Right there. So we'll take that one off too. These are also 7s, but these are a black color. Okay, so now I'm going to move up there to the instrument panel and take those off. Now there's 3 of them up there, 7mm. You can use a ratchet if you don't have like an angled bit. I actually have an angled bit like this, so I can actually put this on here and then angle it and get in here. So there's 1 bolt here, there's 1 bolt there, and then there's 1 bolt there. They're all 7mm. Got to take those off. You might accidentally hit the hazard switch. 2. There's 3. Now, assuming this comes forward, it fell off of there. Oh, it does. Okay, so right now I've never taken this apart before, but I just took the bolts out of here and this little piece broke. It's the plastic that's behind here, so when I take that out, I'm going to re-glue that back on there. So that I have something to, so it actually has something to hold on to. Out. So I just pulled on here, popped this all the way around, and then we are going to have to take off the unplug the switch right here. All I got to do is push that button down and unplug that. And on the other side, there's kind of like a little type of looks like a fork. You kind of have to push it to let the harness off. On the other side. I probably don't want to create too much pressure on this. It's right here. I could see right there that you have to lift up a little bit with your screwdriver. Have it to clear here and then pull it at the same time, so it's a little tough when you get it out. It's like that. Okay, so once you got these 2 harnesses unplugged, then you can try to work that, just try to clear the dash right here, push down a little bit. And actually, man, I think this thing's falling apart because I have never taken this apart. All 3 of these are broken. that's where they screw in. This piece came off of one of these. I don't see any pieces anywhere around here. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one of these that broke off, so I got at least 2 of them I can glue back on. You know, the only thing I could think of that they were broken when they did the heater core. I had loosened most of the dash for the guy, but I don't remember ever taking anything apart here, and I know they had to take my dash, pull it kind of out. Oh wow. Maybe I'll glue down a washer on there. That way at least it grabs good and I'll get it kind of rattling in here. Okay. Anyways. Enough of that. For this next step, we are going to need quite a bit of long extension to get in there. So there's 4 7mm bolts around here in the white area. There's like a white spot right here. So we want to make sure we take the 4 of those out. Same thing, 7mm. There's 2 of them. And there's 2 on the opposite side. Now, before I go any further here, since I am unplugging the speedometer, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. This is a 12mm on the positive side. I don't know what yours will be on the negative side. Mine's different. I have a gold connector on here, so that's been replaced. So just disconnect the power on there. Should be fine. And just to show you where I was talking about, there's one here, one here, one on the other side, and one on the bottom side down there. There's a bolt that you need to remove. Alright, so we got these 4 out. I'll pull this forward. Now this is on a stick shift. This is a manual transmission. This is not the automatic version. And so I'm noticing that there's 3 harnesses on here, and they look like they're all different sizes. So we got one here. This harness right here. Go ahead and on the back side. There it goes. Just push down on the little tab right there. And that tab right there, and pull down. So that one is the one on the left side. And there's a white one right here, right in the middle. I'll just push down and pull that out. And then the last one over here, same thing. It has a, on the right hand side, there's basically a little push down and then pull that out. So we got those out, and now we have our speedometer out, and we can go ahead and replace the bulbs. Take you over to my bench, go ahead and do that. So it looks like we have six different plugs that we need to get to. So you just basically on these, all you're going to do is just turn and then take it out, and then just be careful because these have been on there for a long time. You don't want to pull the board out. And we're just taking off the black ones. God, that one's really tight. So these 2 are super, super tight. I'm going to have to use some pliers or something to grab it with. I'm tearing up my fingers here. There we go. Ahead. Now I bought these and they came in a pack in like a set of 10, which is good. If I could have used well, no, okay, they come in a package of 10, so I used 2 for the control panel and then 6 here, so I have 2 extras. Now I just don't like touching the bulbs, getting my greasy fingers on them in case I ever want to reuse these for some reason. Man, this one looks really bad. Maybe it wasn't even working. So we're just pulling the bulbs out of the sockets, which you just pull straight out. Okay? Now, if you had other bulbs, you can also replace the instrument, all the lights, and they tell you on here what they're for. If you look really good, it says for the door, oil light, theft light, seat belts, fuel, check engine light. So if you wanted to replace those bulbs and make them brighter, you can just take those off. I believe those are different. Let's try to pull one of these out. Let's see, this is high beam. Yeah, these are really tiny, tiny, tiny little bulbs. So, put that back in there. I do not have those bulbs. I just ordered these. I really wasn't worried about all those lights. I was worried more about the backlight of it. Now these LEDs have metal on the side, so you can grab them from the side and put them back on here. And all they do is you just go right in, just like that. Now, I'm not sure if it matters which way these go. Hopefully they don't. That one didn't seem to want to go in a certain way, so maybe they only go in a certain way. It was kind of weird. I was trying to put it in. It looks like they go in. Say like I'm trying to push that in, and it. Oh no, it went in. No, they go in either way, so it's not going to matter. Now I'm going to put this and plug these plugs back in, hook the battery back up, and then I'll check this. I'll look in the back of it, and I'll be able to see like which bulbs are lighting up, which ones are not. If these are, let's see. Oh, there's no polarity, so it doesn't matter which way you put them in. I didn't read that. Maybe I should have read that first, guys. Maybe that's why it didn't matter on the other ones. It worked. So these should work all as soon as you put them in. It shouldn't matter which way they go, at least on these bulbs. Some of them, they do matter. Evidently on this one, it does not matter. So all 6 bulbs are back in. So we're going to go ahead, put it back in the car, plug it in, turn on the lights, and then go ahead and check it from there. Now, if I really wanted to, which I kind of want to do, I want to clean inside of here. I don't know, somehow dust got inside of this thing. These are tiny little, you know what? We're already here. Ooh, it's a 5.5. Not too standard. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and take these all off. And then just wipe that inside out real quick. It just bothers me when it's dirty like that. I don't know if this has it must have some kind of a seal. Maybe it doesn't. If it had a seal, that shouldn't have got in there. Oh, and it's actually on here. That's dirty, not over there. you have a compressor, you can probably blow it out. Yeah, this isn't sealed. There's openings on the side right here. That's how dust gets in here. I'm just gonna give it a quick try to wipe it all down. Okay. Line that back up. We'll put those back on. And you don't want to go haywire and torque these down. Just let it barely, as soon as they torque down, this one. Change the setting on my drill. That way it doesn't strip these plastic. Get that dust out of there. We're good to go. We're going to go ahead and reinstall this. So let's go in reverse order. Let's start with the plug on the right side. Let's get that plug back in. Let's see if we can push that back in there. There's one. And the one in the middle. Just right here in the front. Sure it snaps in, and then the third one is right over here. You guys can see. Okay, we got those in. What I want to do is I'm gonna connect the battery back on real quick. I'm gonna shut off these lights so that way I can see if those bulbs are working. We're gonna plug these harnesses back in right here. Go. All right. And then, wow. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, there's 3, 4. They're all lit up. Wow, that's pretty bright. I like it. It's really, really bright. I'm inside my shop right now and the lights inside the shop are on, but this thing is pretty bright. Wow. It really pops. I love it. Ooh, and they're dimmable. Not completely, but they dim. That's good. Off, on. And let me see here. So I wanted to show you guys a comparison because I took pictures. I don't know if you can really tell, but on here, that was the lighting from the street that you're seeing, but it's, you can't even see really a whole lot. And then that's what we got now. And then this is what I got beforehand. This is the display, what it looked like before on my car, and this is what it looks like after. So pretty big difference here compared from there to there. Like, that's not, you can't even see. I mean, it's probably a little bit brighter than what's on my phone, but not as bright as this. Man, this is so bright. I love it. Now let's put it back together. So we got to put this back in. Make sure it's all back in there all the way. I know on the automatic models it's completely different. Right here in this area you have to do something. I don't know. You might have to look that up. in a different video for somebody else, because I know you have to like take something off for the gear selector or something like that. But this is for the stick shift model, manual transmission. So we'll go there. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this again because I need to fix these things here. Oops. Unplug that. Now when I tried to put this plug back in, since this is so old, this top of the plug broke. This is the part that kind of holds it in place. I mean, it was still snug on there, but maybe I'll glue that back on there just so it can kind of hold. I don't know. I think once I'll put it back on, it's going to break again. So I don't know if I really want to deal with that right now. But I'm going to try to put these two pieces that came off of the top of here. I only got 2 of them out of 3. So what I want to do is I want to clean this a little bit. A lot of dirt on here. Figure out which one of these 2 go on. Now obviously if yours didn't break, you could just go ahead and put this piece back on and you're done. But it broke on mine. So I have a little trick that I use when plastic breaks here at the shop. Some people have heard of it, some people haven't. You might be amazed, or you might just say, I already knew about that. So I'm gonna wipe these down. Soap and water, and then a little rubbing alcohol. Clean the area where you're going to be working. Kind of wipe it down, and then wipe this down too. The cleaner, the better it's going to stick. I don't know how good this piece is going to stick. This one's pretty shot. So it's going to break in pieces here. What we're going to do is figure out which pieces go where. So let me see if we can figure out. Like a jigsaw puzzle. So that one goes there. Okay. And this one goes on the outside. So these 2 go here. And then for this middle one, I think what I'm going to do, I could either grind this down and then glue a washer on there, or I could put just a washer from the other side. It'll look better if I do it from this side, but I'm kind of pressed for time. So we're going to use some crazy glue and some baking soda. So people go, baking soda? What the hell? So the baking soda, it's kind of like a accelerated hardener. So once we put this on here, oh man, there's already sticking to the crazy glue. Whew. I'll just open this thing up. So we're going to go ahead and just put some crazy glue on there. And then what I do is I just kind of dabble a little of the baking soda on there. And now it should hold on there for me while I can continue to glue the rest of this. Now what I do want to do is I do want to push down on it so it's flat, and then just dabble the baking soda around it, and it dries instantly. Some people didn't know that, but some people probably already knew this. My Body Shop taught me this trick. Now it doesn't. It works most of the time pretty good. If the plastic is really, really old, it tends to not work as good. And you don't want to use this in areas where, you know, the plastic is going to have a lot of tension. Here, it's just I'm going to put a screw here. So what I'm going to do here, I already went ahead and I kind of sealed it all the way around with the crazy glue and with the baking soda. So I'll just go ahead and I'm going to dab some more crazy glue, almost like a second layer. And you can actually build it up with this. Like if you have like some pieces that are missing, you can actually build it up this way. Just, you know, go ahead and put it like that, and then if you want to just sprinkle a little bit more on there, all the way around. Looks like I still need to put some more here. The only thing about this is that sometimes you get it on your fingers and then it gets hard to get it off, but that's nice and solid now. I'm putting pressure on it. It ain't nothing. It ain't moving. But see, that piece is back on there now. And we won't be able to see it from over here. We're good. Okay. Now if you wanted to, you could dab a little bit of crazy glue, just the crazy glue. Don't put any baking soda on the inside. That way it won't show, because that stuff is white and this is black, so we don't want to do that. So okay, so we got one on there, and then now we're going to do the second one. So the key is to put it on both sides, but it's hard to grab this without sticking your fingers, getting all glued together. So I just put it on the major parts. If I can get it around on the whole thing. And when you go to lay it down, you don't want to stick to your fingers. Like that, see? And this stuff gets everywhere. What you can do is just grab a little baking soda, sprinkle it on there, and now it'll hold. Now you can get in there with more, a little bit more. You know, you can get in there like right here in the front where there's like where it's not closed down yet. Yeah, this is a crazy tip that, like I said, a Body Shop gave to me. They were buying all these expensive glues to fix like small little plastic pieces, and they realized that that glue wasn't holding very well, and it was expensive. And one of the guys over there, I told him, man, I go, can I get some glue from you? I have to fix the plastic pieces. He's like, oh no, try this. Works better than some of the glues that I mean, obviously not on all of them, but for something like this where it's a small, that is solid now. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to grind off the rest of that because I couldn't find that last piece. I'm going to take one last look in my truck. I'll be right back. Well, guys, patience is a virtue. Guess what I found? On top of the steering column. It was right there, the last piece. Oh man, I'm jazzed now. So now, I'll go ahead, clean this up. We'll do the same thing with this one. Cool. Alright. So we'll put the last one on there. And I looked in there and I looked in there. Maybe I just didn't have my glasses on or something. gotta do this fast because then your fingers start sticking to everything. I gotta push real hard on this one because someone's gotta sit down a little bit. Still want to get my finger stuck on there. Now you want to be careful not to get crazy glue on your finger and then the baking soda at the same time. Like now, if you just get some on there, it's already dried, it's one thing. But if not, it starts to burn your fingers, man. You got to be careful with this stuff. So, you know, that's why I try not to really touch it. And then just make sure you coat the baking soda all the way around and then just give it one more coat on there. Remember if I did this one twice. We'll go ahead and do that again. I feel like I'm seasoning a steak or something here. All right, so we got those all back on there. Back this down. I want to get it back in there. Now, if you can wait, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then put in this piece, you know, great. If you can't and you're pressed for time, like I am. Just try not to torque those screws down very tight. Just kind of, hand tighten them if you can. Once I get up there, I'll kind of screw them down a little bit, and then I'll get my ratchet and I'll just kind of hand tightening them. That way I don't end up, over torquing these down. Let's go back inside. Let's get this back on here. Make sure that our radio piece is out of the way. Here. Let's go ahead and plug these back in. I was going to fix this, but I don't know if I really want to because I don't think this plastic's going to hold because it's got a lot of tension right there. I guess we can give it a shot. A little tougher dealing with, say, something like this because it's on the vehicle when you're trying to glue like a piece like this that maybe breaks on you. Here you want to make sure not to get it there because then it's gonna make this tab go all the way down and you're not going to be able to move it. I don't know that this is going to work though because this has a lot of tension on it when it goes on. I don't feel confident that this will work. The hardest part of this part is trying to hold it and then sprinkling anything on there. Yeah. Sometimes it just won't hold. Like I mentioned, sometimes when the plastic is too old, it might not work. And certain plastics, it just might not work. So what we could do here, let me see. It's gonna hold it on there for a little bit. Let the crazy do its own thing. Try to get this tab to kind of go up a little bit so it gives me a little bit of room to come in. And then also when you're using this inside the car, it gets everywhere. Now, say something like this one, you kind of really don't want to touch this connector for a little bit so that it gets some strength. If I go to put it on right now, it's probably just going to break. So if you could leave this for a while, maybe it'll hold. I'm hoping I can get it on there. Trying to get some of this baking soda behind the connector so it grabs from the back side. Oh, no, it looks all right. Let's give it a little bit. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and connect these plugs back. So I just kind of helped it. I kind of opened it up a little bit and I held it on there. Looks like it might hold. I just want it to hold so it doesn't fall off. Like, you know, while you're driving or anything, so the switch doesn't get disconnected. But beyond that, that's all we really need for that. So let's just guide this back in there. Turn off our emergency lights. So we got that all in there. We're going to put the 3 screws up on here, the 2 on the bottom, which are all 7mm. Okay, I found one here. All right. Like I said, these I'm not going to tighten them down too tight. I'm just going to barely, once I feel them a little bit snug. I don't want to break the pieces that I just fixed. Okay, there we go there. Radio back in. Make sure this plug didn't come off. Check your plugs. So basically all I did was I put the radio back on there, and then I'm going to put the 2 screws that are under here back in there. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do this all with one hand. Not very good at this. Alright, so we got those 2 screws in. Now we're just going to screw them down. And again, don't over torque these, just barely get them to where they're snug. Gear shifter out of the way. Good to go there. And then now we just got to put the metal plate and then the knee bolster back on there. Alright. So let's go ahead and put this plate back up. Now these, you want to make sure that these little the back ends of where it screws in, that they don't move on you. And you want to put these screws in by hand as much as you can, because if not, these ones will strip on you. Real important here. You'll put them in and they'll probably tighten up and you're good to go. But put them in by hand. I've taken these off quite a few times already before. Now with this one I want to use my impact, because these, you have to torque them down pretty good. Perfect. 7 back on there. And then now we're going to put this back on there. Line up the clips on the top. And then put your 4 bolts on the bottom, which are right here. They're the gold ones. One. Two. And then we got to put the hood release back up, and then put the 2 bolts under there. I got to dive under there so I can see what I'm doing. Well, guess what? Look what I found. The last bolt popped out. That's right, I've already found one. It doesn't matter, it's the same bolt. Alright, let's get under here. Now, what I'd like to do with this is use the socket to kind of get it started. Get both screws in first. That way you're not battling them. Get your drill, put it on there. So I'm going to tighten it a little bit more. And lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and tighten up the battery back up, and we're done. Alright guys, so we're all done. We went ahead and hooked up the battery. I got our LEDs in there, nice and bright. They do dim up to about there. They don't completely dim out. We got my red light up here. I will be changing that out. I don't know if maybe I get used to it, or maybe I like it, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching guys. If you have any questions, hit me up. Have a great night.